Can you clarify for me, what is the difference between the landing visa and the eVisa?
Yeah, the landing visa.
Hi, welcome to the Voice of Vietnam Manufacturing Interview Series. My name is Chris. I'm a sourcing expert that's been living in Vietnam for the last 10 years. Today, allow me to introduce you to
Thuy, what are the three types of visas?
Not three types of visa, because as Vietnam law you have so many types of visa depend on the purpose you want to visit to Vietnam. Example is tourist visa if you just go to travel, and you can get the business visa if you want to invest to Vietnam. You can to get the working visa if you want to work in Vietnam, investor visa, and many. However, in the first time, if you do any work in Vietnam, if you don't have any company in Vietnam, if you are not any company guarantee you come to Vietnam, you can get the e-visa.
Okay.
The e-visa is the same tourist visa, but for the e-visa, so you can apply by the online. And you no need to pay any fee in the airport, and you no need to get any confirmation before you come to Vietnam. You just get the confirmation by the online. So this is very simple for foreigner to come to Vietnam.
Right. So, like when I first came to Vietnam, I would have to send my passport to the U.S. Embassy in Houston, or the consulate in Houston. And it would take about 3 weeks. So the advice is, if you're coming to Vietnam, make sure you give yourself at least a month to send your passport into the nearest consulate and pay the fee, and then they will put the visa into your passport and send it back to you. I had the experience once where I went to the airport.
Yes.
And I went to check in. And they informed me that my visa was expired. And so, of course, I was very sad and disappointed. But I had to come to Vietnam, so I had to very quickly express mail my passport to the U.S. consulate, and they did a visa in like 3 days. But I had to pay a higher price.
Yes.
This was 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, things have changed now. But
and Rick, when you come to Vietnam, is last time is tourist visa or what visa you apply?
Well, it was 2008, and it was a tourist visa.
Tourist visa.
And there was no national web portal. You know, but everything was.
But I think a long time. So maybe in the some years ago, it's no online.
Right.
I mean, the internet is not famous until now.
Right.
So it's very difficult. You can submit the visa by the online, but until now it's very easy.
And how long is the visa good for, the tourist visa?
If you submit by e-visa, so the time is 30 days.
Okay.
You can still in Vietnam. However, you cannot renew. You remember until now because for the COVID situation. So it's some difficult for the visa. You can apply by online, but after you're still in Vietnam, you cannot renew.
You cannot extend it while you're here.
Yeah, so, you cannot extend.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a company called Sin Tourist, and they offer a package. I think it's $180, and you travel to Cambodian border. And you go with a group of people in a bus. Yeah. You go through the Vietnam border control, and then you go to the Cambodian control, and you turn right back around and come right back into Vietnam. It's a day trip. You leave at like 8 in the morning and you come back at 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So, but if you do that, if you go out of the country and you come back in, can you do that indefinitely for as many times as you want?
Yes. Until now you can, but the time is a maximum 30
right,
days.
So every 30 days you have to do that, which is a big headache. But okay, so let's talk about a business visa. So let's say you're coming to Vietnam for both business and pleasure, but you want to stay for more than 30 days, and you know that you're going to be coming back maybe once or twice more throughout the year. So tell us about a business visa. Is it easy to get or difficult?
The business visa only easy for the foreigner if you already invest to Vietnam. Example, you already have a company in Vietnam, and then you will submit the document to get the business visa. However, until now the government need to check about the situation of the company. Example, your company had the activity or just zero company, and you already pay the full tax to the government, or you not pay tax. Example, so if your company is good company, they will issue the business visa.
Okay, so if you have a company and your company is in good standing,
yes,
they will issue a business visa.
Yes.
But what about somebody, you know Lego? You heard about Lego?
No.
The company Lego, they opened a big factory. They make the children's toys.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so like imagine a big company like Lego. They just built a factory. They just started to build a factory here, and it's a big investment. When they first came over, like the first full-time staff that was going to work here, before they even set up a company, so they have no company, what kind of visa would they get? If it's a real business, they're coming for business, but they haven't established their company yet, what kind of visa should they get?
So I want to understand clearly, when they come to Vietnam, they don't have the company.
Correct.
But they come for agency.
Business. Well, they come for business. They come here to find out, to meet you and ask about starting up a company and renting land and building a factory.
Yeah, I can understand. In the beginning,
right?
They want to understand the marketing.
Right. Do
in
market
Vietnam.
research. Let's say
they can want to visit with the lawyer to understand
Correct.
the law in Vietnam. So normally, I saw my client should submit the tourist visa.
Okay.
Because it's easy and simple.
Okay.
And the time is 30 days, so they can have more appointment.
Okay, good. I've heard stories about usually when you check in an airport overseas to come to Vietnam,
yes,
they will ask you for your visa, and if you don't have it, they will not let you on the plane. But I don't know how it happens, but I know of cases where people land in Ho Chi Minh City, but they don't have a visa in their passport. There's a section at the immigration coming in where it's a window, and there's some immigration officials, and people line up to pay money to get a visa to be able to get in the country. Do you know about that?
Until now, this is very difficult. The last time, this is easy because it means, the COVID situation, we changed some policy from the government. So until now, this is very difficult. And when you want to come to Vietnam, you must have two tickets. The airline,
right.
And the airline requirement, you must show you already have the visa. Because if you don't show you have the visa, they not issue the ticket.
So you have to have a to Vietnam and a return ticket. You have to have a two-way ticket, and you have to have proof of your visa. Yeah. Otherwise, the airline won't let you on.
Yes. So it's nobody. So this means nobody can come to Vietnam with no visa, without visa.
Can you clarify for me, what is the difference between the landing visa and the e-visa?
The landing visa and the e-visa is the same, the tourist visa.
Okay.
However, the way you get the e-visa and the landing visa is different. If you want to get the e-visa, this is very simple. You only submit by the online, and then the government will check and issue the confirmation by the online. So if you already have the confirmation, you go to the airport, you no need to pay any fee for the same in the passport visa.
Okay.
However, if you want to get the landing visa, it means you need to submit some application to the
consulates.
Vietnam consulate.
Right.
Yeah, in overseas, and then they will issue the approval letter, and you bring the approval letter, go to the airport, and then they need to drop the stamp, and you need to pay the fee for the stamp.
The best thing to do is to do it online with the e-visa.
Yes.
So tell us about the cost and the time for regular and fast service.
Normally, we issue the regular service. The fee is around 110 US. And if you want to get the fast, the fee is 150.
And what are the times?
The regular is mean service. We will pay around 6 working days. But if you want to do the faster, we can do around 2 to 3 working days.
I heard that it's getting more and more difficult to get a business visa. Can you give us an example of when the government might reject a business visa?
Do you have questions about producing in Vietnam? Join one of my live webinars every Wednesday, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, that include a 20-minute question and answer session. Links are in the description below.
Yes, we already in this year we already have some clients. The government reject their business visa because the government requirement the financial statement of the company. The government requirement the VIT report every quarter of the company. And
VIT or VAT?
VAT, yeah,
okay.
VAT.
So,
yeah, and when the government check the information of the company is a zero activity.
Has zero activity,
yeah, no income.
Okay.
So this is very difficult. They cannot issue the business visa. You remember the last time you explained? So we require you must provide the financial statement.
Right.
Yeah, and
which is
all the document to show your company is good company.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my annual report, and inside here it has all the financial activities in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And if there's no activities in my company, then there's a chance that they won't approve the business license.
Correct.
Okay. How much does the business visa cost, and how much time does it take to get the business visa done?
The time is normally around 7 working days. The fee we cannot fix. We cannot fix the fee because the fee for the business visa we just take around depend on the policy of the government. But normally we will charge client from 400 US. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. What documents do they have to provide to get the business visa?
The document the client must provide, including the license of the company, including the investment certificate, enterprise certificate, the picture of the office, the quality, VAT, financial statement of the company, and if you have the ticket, you will show the tickets.
Right. What do people need in terms of documentation to get the business visa?
They need to provide some document to submit to the government. We will require the client must show this investment certificate for the foreign company, and this is enterprise certificate for the company, and then it means the financial statement, the VAT quarter of the company, and then they will requirement to get the picture of the company with how many staff, where is district. Yeah, that's all.
Cool. Okay, very good.
Thanks for listening. Is your business struggling due to delays out of China or quality control issues in India? When is a good time to get on-the-ground advice or factory introduction from an expert in Vietnam? Schedule a one-on-one chat with me, or let's meet for coffee in Ho Chi Minh City. And remember, thoughts are things, and where there's a will, there's a way.